This video continues with a demonstration of using the while loop to create a menu-driven program. We're talking about the Turtle Graphics menu, and we will have several options or selections for a user in this menu-driven program. So the next step would be to display the first choice the user has in this menu-driven program. To do so, we want to position a pen in a particular location and then write the choice or display the choice. So I have typed display each individual choice. That's what's going to follow. Change the position of the pen cursor to display a particular choice. So I'm moving to a -4 and 290. Remember, the original Turtle Graphics pen is at a -400 and 350 to display the graphical design menu caption or label. So the next step would be to write out the choice after we position the pen in the desired location. So I'm going to type in turtle.write type 0 to end the program. And next, I will describe the font typeface. Font is equal to, and we can change the font face to Courier. And make the size of the text 20. Boldface it. It doesn't have to be underlined, so we'll just boldface it. So the write method has an open parentheses and it has a close parentheses. Within the write method, we have different parameters or objects, such as the item to be printed, and then you can describe how you want it to be printed. I changed the font face, just like in line 30. I changed the font face here to Arial, made the font size 20, bolded and underlined it. Here I'm going to change the font face to Courier, font size 20 and bold. Okay, let's see what that looks like. To make sure that we have the positions, the pen positions in the correct location, because currently what we've just done is created an infinite loop. When you say while true and you do not have a clear explicit way for exiting the program, it creates a what they call an infinite loop. To mitigate this, what we can do is say if, well, before we even do that, because we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, let me go in, and after we write the menu, we have to say we're going to have what they call input operations. I'll just place it in here for the time being. Input operations. And I'm going to say choice equals, and I'm going to use the turtle input. There are two different major turtle inputs. One is called text input and the other one is num input. In fact, this is a number, so we're going to say text.num input graphics menu, comma, enter a choice between 0 and 5. So the num input allows us to write the message followed by a description to the user, and it also allows, because this is a little menu, this is an input menu, or a little window rather, and we can say default is equal to 0. The minimum value or min value is equal to 0, and the max val is equal to 5. And the reason for that is you'll see shortly in the window what it's going to look like. Now, the reason why I'm adding this input choice, the next step is going to be to use nested if statements to determine choice of user. So the next step would be we're going to say if choice is equivalent to 0, break. That means we're going to end the program. Or exit the loop rather. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. So we know how to use the write method. Now we're using the input method based on Turtle Graphics in that window. So let's run the program. So we'll run the program to see the impact of this statement. Now you see when you use the input, it displays a little dialog box, a window, and it says enter a choice between 0 and 5. If I put in a 6, it's going to give an error message automatically. The allowed maximum value is 5. Please try again. If I put in a -1, let me take out the 6 and I'll add a -1. And it's going to say the allowed minimum value is 0. Please try again. So, and by the way, this input window or dialog box by default will always display in the middle of your window. And of course, we changed the background to yellow, the color is purple, and so on and so on. Okay, so I'll type in a 0 and this program actually ends, and you can even add a statement to saying program end. We're going to go back up after line 40 and we're going to add the other remaining write statements to display the choices the user has to make.